Going back to the beginning. Look at verse 2. And he himself is the keporah, the offering for our sins, and not for ours only, but also for the whole olam hazeh, the whole world. And we have to be careful of unity for unity's sakes and universalism, because we all know Yochanan 3:16, for God so loved the world that everybody can come in. Just anybody, just come on in. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son. You know, he loves everybody. It's all about love, right? Universalism, and that's what you get all of these vicars and whatnot preaching in England. Universalism. It's the broad road. But what is really going on in Yochanan, John 3:16? For Yahweh so loved the world that he sent his one and only son. Did he want the world? Is that what he's interested in? Does he love the world? Well, we know that's not true. He tells us that the world is like a what? A field. So something going on here that is so important that we miss when Yochanan in the gospel says, for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son. You see, the world is a field. And in that field is a special treasure. And that treasure is Israel. Israel is a special treasure buried in the field of the world. Yahweh loves the field, not because he loves the field, but for what the field contains. So he sends his only son, so he has the land redemption rights to purchase the field. So now, what is he going to do once he's got the field? What would you do if you were looking for some buried treasure in the field? I would come into that field and I would gather up all of that tares and thorns and thickles, and I would thickets even, and I would clear that field, and I would bring it into a pile, and I would burn it. And then I'd start digging around, and I'd move the wheat, and I would then start to dig and find the buried treasure in the field, Israel. And that's what that John 3:16 is about. He only loves the world because the world houses the buried treasure. But there is going to be a refining and a clearing and a sifting of the world so that he can get to his buried treasure, Israel, and bring you forth out in the time for harvest and redemption, because there's a sickle harvest coming in the apocalypse, is there not? It's not about universalism. Once he's got the treasure, he'll burn up the field, all of it. He's going to get his treasure, and he's going to get his wheat, and he's going to go put it in a barn. You see, it's not about, oh, love, love, God is love. God is love. Yahweh has 13 attributes, and love is one of them. But let's look at the other 12, and you'll get into some fearful recognition of who he truly is. So anyway, that's a side note, but truly when people have spoken about that John 3:16 and used it for universalism,